Hello, everyone, and welcome to Phillies Unfiltered, along with Jim Russo, who is back.
I
I
am.
am I am Brent Tracy. Jim, welcome back. I missed you. How are you
Thanks.
doing?
Uh, Hanging in there. I mean, it's been a long month. I haven't been feeling all that great, but I'm recovering. So it's we're getting there. And you know who else is back? Who's recovering? These stinking Phillies.
Yeah,
Finally recovering.
you guys are on the same wavelength, I think,
Yes, yes. I mean, if they're coming back strong, I'm happy.
There you
So
go. Well, I'm glad you're back. I am glad you're doing better. That's awesome.
yeah,
I'm fighting a cold right now, but it sounds like you were going through a little bit more, so I'm not going to complain about my cold.
just a bit.
So Um, yeah, so I mean, let's just get into it. We haven't had an episode. I mean, Bridget was kind enough to join me last week to stand in, and we talked about the Rob Thompson firing, Don Mattingly hiring. But I'm curious to get your take on this because we haven't had an episode since this happened, you and I. Where are you at? I mean, obviously the team's doing well, but what are your overall thoughts about Don taking over?
Something needed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, something needed to happen. We discussed this the last time we were actually able to talk. I thought it was going to be a lot later than it actually was, and you're pretty much right on point
Right.
now. I'm happy with the change. I mean, I feel bad for Topper. Topper's a good guy, but he
He
just
is.
really didn't have the locker room. So it's been a good ride so far, and I think there's a different perspective, even though Topper and him are kind of similar, in I guess approach, but I think Don Mattingly has the experience, unlike Topper had, especially with stars and being a star himself.
Right. Yeah, I think that's helping because I mentioned this last week that Don was a star in this league, as you just said, and that's going to help with guys like Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber. These guys with immense pressure on them. Don knows what that is. He's been there before, and he was in a major. I mean, he was New York. Like he knows what it's like to play for a big market team.
The premier market.
You're right, with the expectations, and I think that's a big help. I agree with what you're saying that I think there's a lot of similarities, but I've spotted some differences too in approach, which I think maybe are a big reason for the success. I really want to get your take on this because I mentioned it again, last week when Bridget was with me, but I really want to get your response on this. They were Don was working on bunting with
Yes.
Stott, Crawford, and Marsh. I know you and I have talked about like, we're old school baseball guys. Like we like old school baseball. We like move the runners over, and it worked. By the way, a couple of times. Bohm had the sac fly in extra innings last week because of moving a runner over. Topper would not have done that. Rob would not have done that. It just wasn't his approach. Um, what's your? I mean, I think it's great. I love Crawford and Stott putting the ball on the ground. I just think only good things can happen when that happens. But
When I'm talking to Noah about any kind of baseball, I tell him my favorite outs are productive outs. All the
mhm.
time I tell him, and small ball is a huge part of that. And I mean, everybody that's laying down a bunt, Stott, Marsh, Crawford, they're laying down beauties.
Yeah,
They're great. I mean, especially the first game, like they were playing small ball, and you see Stott, I think, moved a guy over twice, and like this is exactly what needs to happen.
yep.
I know it's not the game these days, but it should still happen, and it wins you ball games, and clearly they're playing winning baseball right now, and that is a factor. I mean, I haven't seen it as much recently. Like I mean, the last few games, I haven't really needed it,
Yeah, I don't think they've needed it exactly.
but
Yeah,
when they do need it, it's there, and you have guys that are capable of doing it.
right.
I mean, there's moments I have an issue with the extra inning game a couple days ago where JT swung at a first pitch and
Yeah, that was a bad out. That was not a productive out, to your point.
that was a prime bunting opportunity.
Yeah.
But JT's not going to be your bunter. It's like you got three catchers, one is kind of good at bunting.
Yeah, Garrett Stubbs is a great punter. Yeah.
Could have thought about that there, but I think that would have been. I don't know if you would have wanted to play that game at that point, but they could have won on the game, but they had ended up losing. But overall, I think the choices that Mattingly has made has been good. He's leaving pitchers in at a little bit longer. He
Yeah.
stretched out Luzardo and Sanchez a bit. I mean, he's letting Painter go a little bit longer to try to build some confidence. That's something we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yes, yeah.
But so far, so good.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So no, I think this is the change, as you said. I mean, we needed a change, and it was the obvious change. They did offer it to Cora first. I think that was kind of interesting. I'm glad we didn't get Cora. Honestly, I just don't think he would have been a good fit here. That's just me. I think Mattingly's a more natural fit with this group, but you know, I'm glad we have him. I think that the guys are responding clearly, and we're climbing the standings. That's all you would want. It's very similar to when Rob took over 4 years ago. The sort of the rejuvenation of the team. It's a long season, right? It's a long season. We got a long way to go, but we are on the upward trajectory, which is what you hoped that this move would produce, and it's great to see it because they're swinging the bats with more confidence. It's a lot more loose. They're not tightened up. They just look more comfortable. Starting pitching's been much better. Sanchez is a great example. He was not himself necessarily for a little bit there, but the last couple outings have been fantastic from him.
Still sub 3, but I mean he's going on 20+ innings scoreless now.
Yeah, no, it's been really good, and I think the other thing is, the big guns on the team are performing offensively. Schwarber's been hitting. It seems like every game, it just feels like he's hitting a home run lately, which is what we love to see from him. Harper, and this isn't just from the change. Harper's had a pretty solid start to the season, going back to before Don took over. And I don't know that we've seen this from Bryce in quite a while, but he's having a very steady season. Now, is it explosive? Not necessarily, but it's steady, and that's what we need from him at his age, just to be a steady guy,
You take out the first, I think, 2 weeks, he's hitting over 300.
Yeah.
He looks like elite Bryce. I mean, I'm not going to say MV3 Bryce, but he looks like he's in superstar category right now.
He's playing all-star level baseball. I think he is definitely he and Marsh. Marsh is leading the league in hitting right now.
Yes,
I love that. I know you probably love seeing it, but yeah.
Yeah.
He has carried over whatever he found last year. He seems to have carried it over. And I like it because, yesterday he had 4 singles, I think. Just kept poking the ball where the fielders weren't, wasn't trying to do too much. When he's doing that, he's a dangerous hitter. And he's shown some power this year, which, we've seen it in the past, but more consistently when the ball's in his wheelhouse, he's really hitting it. And he's hitting it to opposite field, too. Gap powers looked good.
Left center field, if he's hitting that. If he's in that spot, he's right on. He's exactly where he needs to be, and that's what he's been doing.
Yep.
I can't ask for much more out of him right now.
And Justin Crawford, I think he's batting 276 or something like that. That's still good. He had a little bit of a dip a couple weeks back, but all in all, this kid's rookie year has been solid. He's staying within himself. He's not trying to do too much. He did hit his first home run the other night, which was a wall scraper, but as you like to say.
Kid, I'm telling you.
No, well, the other day, that running that ball out, and you said speed kills is what you texted me. He just put the ball in play, knew he had the wheels, and he got there, and it was a walk-off infield single, but it got the job done, and he did it his way. He did it within his skill set. Didn't try to rip a ball into the gap or over the fence. He just put the ball in play, knowing, I've got the speed. If I can run this out, we're going to win the ball game, and he did it.
The extra inning game the other day, he got himself on base with an infield single, gave his guys a chance to.
Yeah, he slapped the ball down the third baseline where they. He's a smart player. He's a very, very smart player. For a kid that age to understand, one, his skill set and situationally where the game is, it's not common to see a 22-year-old kid get it like that.
People complained about all the ground balls. I don't care.
I don't either. We have enough guys hitting fly balls.
Right. I don't need 10 home runs from him. I'm glad he hit the one that was, it tied the game. It was an important moment where he did it too. But he's putting the ball in play. He doesn't strike out that much.
No.
Especially for a rookie.
Right.
He doesn't make the most solid contact all the time, but you put the ball in play, you never know what's going to happen. And as I said, speed does kill, and he gets on base. He can leg out a single, no problem.
Yeah. If you put that, if he puts that ball between the hole and short and third, nobody's getting him. Nobody's getting him, and no matter how good the arm is, you're not getting him. He's too fast.
Yeah, if you see Tovar, who's a solid defender, he's running to his right. He's not getting Crawford on a throw
Right.
like that. Like I mean, it's been fun to watch so far. I'm happy with where he's at. So
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
I would like to see him hit more against lefties.
me too. Yeah.
I mean, he was
Calder's been saying that. He's like, is there a lefty on the mound? He's like, that's why Crawford's not in. Why aren't they? He's starting to really pick up on that, which is I love it. I love that he's picking up on that.
your regular 1 through 9 should be righties and versus and lefties. I mean,
Well, and the thing is, Crawford
doesn't
can
matter.
he can hit lefties. He's shown it.
Honestly, so can Marsh and so can Stott.
I know. Yeah. Well, Stott lately. I mean, he had a couple of multi-run homers last week. He was really finding his power stroke, but yeah, right now they're all looking much better. Offensively, they are. So that's great. I think the only and we'll probably get into this in studs and duds, but I think more broadly we can really talk about it now. But are you concerned about Andrew Painter?
Not entirely, but a little bit. There's something going on. I don't think it's injury related. I think confidence might be shot a little bit.
Yeah.
He's not hitting his spots. He's he's walking too many guys. He's letting up home runs. He doesn't look intimidating up there. He should be. He's a big dude, and he should be scary to hit against. But he's not alarming anybody right now. He needs a reset of some kind, and I don't know what that's going to be. I think he should stay up with the big club. I don't think we should be sending him down.
No. I think that's a horrible idea to send him back.
I don't think that discussion should even be taking place anywhere. He needs to stay exactly where he is, because then you just hurt his confidence more. JT should be catching him all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing. We had Marchand the other day, and I clearly can't call a game for him. But I think you need to have somebody that is as good as JT at handling a staff, catching a young gun like Painter.
For sure.
You could have Marchand catch Nola, or against Stubbs catch Nola.
Yeah.
And he'll be just fine. Well, I mean, for Nola. But you need somebody to help him with his confidence and know what pitches to throw, what spots to hit, in what situation.
Right. Yeah. And I think sending him down is a terrible idea. I mean, this is it. Like, this is what we've been waiting for. This is what we've been bringing him along for. Sending him back is not an option at this point. I don't think. I think it's a confidence shot if you do that to him. And also, it's just the reality. This is your guy. You've made the decision to not trade him away. You need to give him the opportunity to overcome. And now I think there's a limit, right? Like, I think if we get to the All-Star break and he's still struggling the way he is, you think about moving him to the bullpen or trying something different. But right now, no. I think you need to let him try and work through this. You need to give him the opportunity to overcome this. This isn't killing us right now. And yeah, I mean, he's finding his footing, and I think it's frustrating for him, I'm sure, and for all of us, but you can't send him back down, and I think it's too soon to pull the plug and be like, all right, well, I guess we're going to try and trade him or something, like, you got to give him some time to settle in. Like I said, if you get to mid-season and he's still struggling, then you probably need to at least consider moving him to the bullpen potentially, but
I wouldn't mind skipping a start. Honestly.
Yeah, I think that might make sense.
I don't know if bullpen's going to be the best option for him either. But he's a starter. Long term, he's a starter. I have no doubt of that. Just get this confidence back up. They'll figure it out. I feel good about them figuring out. Caleb Cotham will figure out something for him. He's a heck of a pitching coach. So
yeah,
we'll see what he's got.
Well, and on the subject of pitching, I mean, Wheeler has looked really good coming back from injury. I did not expect him to be this comfortable looking so quick. I thought it might take a little bit more time, but velocity is not terrible. It's not necessarily Wheeler what we're used to, but it's not what I expected anyway. He seems to be comfortable throwing his different pitches. He's not leaning on one too much or anything like that. I think this is the best we could have hoped for, realistically, for Zach's return. At least that's my opinion.
He said something about not being happy about his breaking balls against after his start against the A's. But
Well, he's a perfectionist, so
yeah, right. But otherwise, I think for what we've gotten, I'm happy.
sure.
I mean,
When you
Sanchez
got
is starting to
Christopher,
come up.
yeah, when you got Christopher leading that charge, honestly, Luzardo, I think, has some room for improvement. He has been a little inconsistent. Some games he looks
A
really
little.
good. Other games he looks like he's kind of just not sure what he's
He,
working with.
he is on either side of the seesaw here.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
That's what I'm
either
saying. It's one or
utterly
the other.
dominant or he
Yeah,
is
right.
all over the place. There's no in between with him
So,
right now.
so yeah, he needs to find the consistency. I'm not terribly worried about that though. Because I think he will find it. We've seen what he's capable. I mean, he was pretty consistent through most of last year, aside from that 2 to 3 week
Yeah.
blip early in the year. But
We need him to get his ERA down
yeah,
sub 4 at this point. Yeah, 'cause we're going to need more than two guys, especially if things are trending in the right direction and when we see playoffs, we're going to need three guys, and
for
Luzardo
sure.
has to be that third guy.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, I think all in all though, the staff, I'm more confident in the staff than I was like a month ago. They're
I
just
mean,
and,
anything's
and
better without Taiwan Walker. So
And the bullpen is kind of, it's had its moments. There's definitely some shaky guys out there, but
yeah,
Duran looked great yesterday. That was
did.
the best outing he's had since coming back. He was throwing 101, 100. He was really pushing that velocity up, which you love to see. Um, and Mesa's been surprisingly good this year.
Yeah, he has. He's pitching a lot.
He is. He's like the guy that it is the long relief guy. It's like I'm going to bring him in and just have him eat innings as much as possible, kind of.
Tucker was like everyday Mesa. I'm like, okay.
Right. But no,
He hasn't been disappointing.
no.
So and then ever since he shaved the mustache, Tanner Banks has been better.
Yeah, I remember. I heard him saying, "I wasn't doing well. I need to get rid of
Yeah,
that." Baseball players are a superstitious bunch.
they are. Yeah, they are.
But yeah, I mean that's they're and your boy Kirkering, I think has looked much better.
He looks good.
I think that's he seems more like a veteran. I don't know how better to put that, but he doesn't seem. There's a very different his
He's
demeanor.
mature.
There's a maturity. There's a demeanor change, and I give him credit because that was a demoralizing way to end a
Yeah.
season, and it wasn't. He was not the reason the Phillies lost that series. They were going to lose that series regardless. That's not why they lost. But for him personally, I can't imagine psychologically having to kind of deal with that through the off season. I've been impressed with the way he has approached pitching this year so far, and I hope he's able to keep doing it because we know what stuff he has. With him,
Yes.
it's all just executing, right? It's executing, and if he can execute his pitches and he can use the fastball to set up that sweeper, and he's a dangerous guy out there. So I'm happy to see the way he's pitching
I
right
think
now.
it's 10 straight scoreless outings for him.
Something like that. Yeah, he's looked really good. He's been one of the more reliable
He was
relievers. I think.
pretty good in that extra inning game.
Yeah.
I don't keep going back to that particular extra inning game, but he looked really good. He shut them down. We couldn't score, but that's neither here nor there now.
Right. Yeah. So, with all that said, we kind of covered all the sort of the general stuff. I'm curious, and we haven't done this in a little while, but to get into some studs and duds. I don't have any specific stats with me today, but I do have some ideas of who I think fit these.
Yeah, there's one stat that I'll maybe two stats that I'll bring up. Brandon freaking Marsh. I mean, how can you not? The guy's leading the league in hitting. Was it
Yeah, for sure.
three, something like that?
Yep.
12-game hit streak. He's doing everything.
Yep.
He's
Playing a great left field too.
He's playing a solid outfield in general. He's playing solid in center for the most part.
Yeah.
He plays out there and in left field. We already knew he was a really good left fielder.
Yep.
But as far as the hitting goes, since May 1st of last year, he's 1 or 2 in batting average.
Yeah.
Like you need guys. You need role players. You can't just have superstars win you things. You need guys like a Brandon Marsh who is who seems to be blossoming into something right now. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully this sticks. And he doesn't. I mean, he's going to have a cold streak at some point. Everybody does, but I
But like
mean,
you said, this is going back to May of last year.
yeah.
This
So
is pretty solid amount of time that he's maintained this level of production for the most part.
what I find interesting is how many times is Don Mattingly going to mention that he wanted to trade for him when he was in Miami, when Mattingly was managing Miami, and
Yeah.
we were trying to trade for Marsh, it just didn't work, and then next thing you know, I guess this is the guy they thought they had or that they're going to be getting.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be the best trade that we could have made that season. Now, I mean, Mickey Moniak and Logan O'Hoppe, we got rid of them for a couple guys, but I'm happy with what we're getting out of Brandon Marsh right now. Hence, stud.
Yeah. No, I can't argue with that. I mean, he has been a stud for sure. He's also providing a lot of protection in the lineup for guys like Schwarber and Harper specific. But I love it. I like having him in there in the middle of that lineup. It's working out really well, and he's you know he's not doing too much. I think we talked about it. He had 4 singles, yesterday, but just hitting the ball where it's pitched, not trying to do too much. Very comfortable, and I'm really happy with it. So yeah, that's a great pick. Obviously, he deserves that. You went with Marsh. I'm going to go with Harper. The steady.
Yeah.
He's just the steady, leader of this team. I mean, he's been very consistent throughout this season. He's really hasn't gone into any terrible streaks. He's not lighting the league up. But he's doing what we need him to do, which is just consistently hitting the pitches that are there to hit, taking his walks. He's not chasing as much that I can see this year. It seems like he's being more patient because I think he knows the guys behind him are producing, right? Like you got a Marsh behind you in the lineup, and if his spot comes up and I'm on base, we might get some runs. So I like what I'm seeing from Bryce Harper. He's playing good defense at first base as always.
Yeah.
I think he's just, I don't think he's like, oh, I'm an old guy, but I think he realizes like I don't have to do as much. Like I just need to do what I can do and let my teammates do their part. And that's what I'm seeing from him this year. It's not him trying to carry the team, but he's doing his part, and it's been very consistent. I think you're looking at an all-star nod right now as it stands for Bryce. I think he's earning that.
I mean, it's going to be all-star reserve, honestly. Matt Olson's just on a tear.
Yeah, but I mean, Bryce will be there, and it's in Philly. That's the other thing,
he better perform because he should be there.
Yeah,
will probably be there too, and Brandon Marsh is going to earn a spot.
I think Marsh is definitely making a push. Schwarber will be there just for the home run derby, if for nothing else. But
he should be there. He's got 16 home runs already.
Yeah, you know what you're getting from Kyle. You know what you're getting from him. He's going to strike out, he's going to walk, and he's going to hit home runs. Those are 3 true things about Kyle Schwarber every season.
Yeah. He's a 3 outcome guy, and it shows.
Yeah.
Especially this year, it's really showing.
It is.
I mean, we're getting what we paid for.
For sure. Yeah.
So I mean, he's on pace for over 60 home runs right now. So I mean, I can look past a 215 average or whatever it is. I mean, if you're driving in runs and you're hitting homers.
Right. You're right. Exactly. So yeah, no, I think that's great. So anyway, yeah, I think those are good studs. I mean, they're obvious, but Brandon Marsh and Bryce Harper, I think, are pretty good studs. For dud, I mean, I think we already touched on. We probably agree on this, maybe, but for me, it's Painter right now. He just needs to be better. I mean, we need him. Yeah. We said it at the start of the season. He needs to step up and be that heir apparent to Zach Wheeler. He needs to be that dominant right-handed pitcher that we've been waiting for years now to come up here and to impose his will on people. And like you said, he's not really doing that. He's kind of pitching timidly. He's not pitching in dominant fashion. He doesn't seem to have a ton of command over his pitches right now. So I'm not saying I think he can recover, and I kind of think he will. I really do think he'll figure it out, given some time. But right now, for me, he's a dud because he's supposed to be the best, one of the top, in the Skeens level of
Right.
young pitchers in the league, and we're not seeing that. So I think we need to start seeing not that necessarily, but we need to see better outings from him, less walks, more innings. Just start building up, little bits at a time, taking steps to being better, and that's where I'm at. I mean, for me, it's
I can agree with Peener, but I'm gonna pivot just a little bit and move over to the bullpen.
okay.
And Brad Keller's been a little disappointing to me.
Yeah, yeah,
He's got an over 4 ERA. I think it's 4.3. I know he's got over 1 for a WHIP. So it's he doesn't look like the guy that they were claiming was the best setup man in baseball last year.
right, right.
So I haven't seen that. He gave up a big run in extra innings again. This is the same extra inning game the other day. He hasn't had that dominant outing, at least not that I can recall.
Yeah, no, he's been somewhat. I think he's definitely been well, more than somewhat disappointing. In his defense, the one thing I'll say is he has been put into certain situations because of Duran's injury. I think that he wouldn't normally be in. He's had to be in closing spots and not.
Yeah.
But I agree. Even before Duran got hurt, he was not really all that impressive. So I agree. I think that's a fair dud. I think given the contract he got, we need to see more out of him. I think that's a good pick for dud.
Thank you.
So let's go to pros and cons. I mean, I don't think we've done that this season yet, but for those who don't remember, this is kind of where we just talk about generally the positive things for the team and the negative things for the team. So, Jim, what do you got for your pro or pros right now? What do you think?
The offense is turning it around, aren't they?
Yeah,
So I think just the offense and the starting pitching, they're showing up for the most part. I mean, most of the reason why they've been winning, they're on a good track right now because they're hitting the ball. They're playing small ball at times. They have guys that are hitting all the time in Brandon Marsh and Bryce is hitting really well. So it's your main guys. It's your starting nine and your starting pitching. It's they're
yeah.
in a good spot right now, and they should keep that going. I mean, I can't. I mean, obviously they should keep that going. We will, and if it can, we're moving in the right direction consistently, and we're going to have an over 500 record before we know it.
Right, right, yeah, and I'll echo. I mean, definitely the offense, but for me, more broadly, it's just the change in captain. Right, it's
Yeah.
having Mattingly in there. I think there's this. It's all of it. The small ball. Um, Don's a little bit more kind of has a little bit more personality or outward personality, I think, than Rob did. I think that's probably there's a little bit of a change of pace there.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, Don's just hands-on experience as a player and a manager in the league, I think, are really showing through with this group right now. And I don't think that can be underappreciated or it shouldn't be underappreciated. I think that's having more of an impact than some people even realize. It's not just hey, there's a new guy there. He does bring a new perspective or a different perspective than Rob had. And I get to what you said earlier. I have nothing against Rob. I wish him well, and he's one of the winningest managers percentage wise in Phillies history.
Yes.
Like he was only supposed to be here for that one season, and then they kept winning, and he stayed on. And to his credit, he also took a lot of accountability. He met with the media after he was fired, which is a very rare thing to do. And it was I always respected that. Rob never threw his players under the bus. He always took accountability for stuff. Even if I didn't agree with what he was doing, he did, say, we need to be better at this. I need to, he never tried to shirk his duties as manager. The buck stops here. He really did adhere to that, I think. But I think that this managerial change, the symbol of it certainly has made an impact, but the practical effects you're seeing as well. And I think that's for me the biggest pro is just a different approach, maybe a more loose approach. Don kind of putting the little things in there, the bunting guys over. Oh, you only have one out now, and you can get the run in with, and then you saw that with Alec Bohm in the extra innings the other day, where Rob probably wouldn't have made that move. So little things like that, I think, are helping set this team up for
So,
success.
so speaking of this change in regime, so I'm gonna pose this question now, and of course I'm interested in this conversation later down the line.
Sure.
With this year. So say we go on a crazy run, say make the playoffs and then go deep. Does Don Mattingly stay?
So I think you're going to see something similar to Rob. I don't know that he'll be here for 4 years, regardless of the success level. But I think if they win the World Series this year, he probably retires. That's what I think.
Okay.
If they don't, and they do go into the playoffs and make a good run, I think he might come back. I think they might bring him back. Well, I think they would bring him back, and I think he would stay. But if they win it all, I think he's just like, nope, been looking for this my whole career. Got it. I'm done. I think that's what he does.
The problem is Dombrowski kind of showed his cards a little bit with this Alex Cora thing, who would be a heck of a manager. I'm sure.
I'm not. I don't have anything against him. I just don't know that he's the right fit for this group, and I don't know why I'm saying that specifically. It's just a feeling I have. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm sure we'll be talking about this.
Sure.
Not in the near future, in several months down the line.
Yeah. Yeah, because Don's here. I mean, obviously the rest of the season,
and I'm happy so far. So.
Yeah. No, I've always liked Mattingly too. I've never, so I'm glad he's at the helm. I think the bigger issue or the question would be, depending on how the season goes, is Dombrowski here? After this season, because if this team underachieves ultimately, and yeah, maybe they keep winning for now, but say they fall short of making the playoffs or they get another first round exit, Middleton really needs to take a hard look. And to me, Dombrowski's got to be gone. I mean, he's really the main issue, I think, even more so than Rob Thompson, but I think, that's what I'd be looking for. So again, these are conversations for several months down the road, but
he's like your main character in a movie that has serious plot armor.
Yes, yeah.
we gotta figure this out. We gotta find.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, no. So we'll see what happens with that. That's definitely conversations down the road. But as far as Don, your question about Don, yeah, I think he obviously goes through this year, and if they have some success but fall short of the ultimate prize, I think he probably comes back. If not, again, if they somehow pull it off and they win the whole thing, I think he rides off into the sunset, and I'm fine with that. Obviously,
if it ends in a win, I'm happy.
Right, I don't care what he does, honestly, at that point.
As long as they win the last game of the year.
There you go. Exactly. So, yeah, I mean those are the pros. We didn't get to the cons yet though. No, so what are some of the cons that you or a con?
I haven't been feeling the back end of the bullpen. I mean, Duran did not look sharp the first couple outings coming back. He looked good yesterday. I'll give him that.
I think he looked great yesterday. The first couple, but I'm going to give him a pass because they're putting him in situations that aren't save situations to kind of get him warmed up. Mattingly had said, we're not going to do multiple days in a row, which is ending apparently starting today. We're recording this on Monday. The Phillies are set to start a series up in Boston, but they're starting today. Duran will be available as a regular closer. They kind of were just bringing him along for a few games to just kind of get him loosened up. What's that?
They are off tonight.
Oh, I thought they were starting in. Is it Tuesday?
It is Tuesday series.
No, okay. I misread the schedule then, but that's good. I'm glad they got a day to just kind of take a step back. But they're playing well. But I think that's good that the bullpen can use a little bit of a break. And
yeah. I haven't been feeling the back end. I mean, Alvarado hasn't looked all that great, and then I already mentioned Keller. So my confidence isn't 100% right now there.
I would 100% agree with that. That's definitely my biggest concern too. The Alvarado he's always been the same. He's effectively wild when he's like close to the zone, right? But when he's not hitting, like when he's way off, he's walking guys. He's just, he's hitting guys sometimes. Like I get why they brought him back. It was a cheap deal. He had to prove it after that whole debacle last year. I get why they brought him back. I hope that he finds some kind of a groove because when he is on, he's a dangerous pitcher. But the consistency's always been Jose's, issue.
He's a wrong kind of unhittable right now. Like he can't even swing.
Right. It's so far. Yeah.
Yeah, but what you got? Anything else there?
Yeah, no, I think the bullpen honestly is the biggest thing for me. Adolis Garcia, I'd like to see a little bit more power from consistently. He's had moments where he's looked good swinging the bat, other times where he looks a little bit off. I I think, and again, that's specific. That's not so much a con, but I think as far as the middle of that lineup goes, if he can kind of get swinging a hot bat alongside Marsh, that's going to be really, really fun to watch and deadly for other teams.
Okay, look what that does for Bryce if those two start coming along at the same time.
Right.
And Schwarber probably too, and at that point Trey, who he needs to step it up a little bit. But
yeah, he's been kind of. I mean, he's been getting kind of singled after that one game where he went 0 for 4, 0 for 5 or whatever. The next game, I think he had 3 hits.
He went 0 for 6, I think it was, on Friday, and then had 4 hits on Saturday.
Right, it was 4 hits the following day. Right, so yeah, you want to see a little bit more consistency there, but for me, yeah, Garcia in the middle of that lineup, if he can kind of get going, specifically with the power, like if he can start hitting some homers, that's going to really put teams on notice, like that you can't pitch around Kyle and Bryce because these guys, Marsh and Garcia, are right behind them, and you're going to have to pick your poison. That's what you want to see.
And Garcia is a strong man.
Yes.
He does not need to swing all that hard to hit the ball that far.
Especially not in CBP.
Oh, he can just poke it over left field fence. I mean, he can hit it the opposite way. I mean, he can put the bat on when he puts the bat on the ball, it can go a long way.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I think that's it. I mean, that's my con. I think the back end of the bullpen, like you said, is something that needs to figure itself out, which we're at the point of the year where a lot of teams are in that situation. We saw the A's had some serious bullpen issues when we played against them. So there's a lot of that, but yeah, I mean, I think that brings us to the end here. Jim, it's been great getting back on the horse here, and it feels like things are back to normal after we've had a weird and tumultuous couple of weeks. But so do you want to close it out? Tell everybody where they can find us.
Before we do that, we got an interesting week coming up against the Red Sox and the Pirates, who are surprisingly really pretty good, those Pirates. We'll see what this week brings. But don't forget, guys, you can listen to us and watch us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts at Phillies Unfiltered Podcast. Watching us will be on YouTube at Phillies Unfiltered Podcast. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook at Phillies Unfiltered Podcast, Instagram at Phillies Unfiltered, and X/Twitter at Funfilter. That's PHUNPHILTERED.
There it is.
There it is.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us this week. And Jim, let's say it.
All right, I'm ready.
All right.
Go Phils.
Go Phils. All right. See you guys later.
See ya.